just chaos probably for years until there's groups, little clusters that are like, okay, we need to have jobs. We need to build some sort of like some sort of security. The thing that pops into my mind is the that little community in The Walking Dead where like it's normal houses, normal everything, but there's a huge steel wall like enclosing them. That's what I feel like would happen. And it would get to the point where we're just back to where we started. I think that's just how we are as humans. I don't think we're designed really anywhere like any way else where it's like this want. I don't know. That's just me. I think it's very hard to now. I think if we had a hard reboot, right, where it was we were not exposed to the materialistic world that we live in, maybe then we would have a chance to like, build society different. But this kind of reminds me of the conversation I was having with my wife yesterday, where apparently Gen Zers are trying to go back to flip phones. Like on the weekends, they have a second phone and it's a flip phone, but they can't disconnect fully from it. Like it's going to be too easy for me to just, after this smartphone, I'm just going to be like, yep, flip phone, too easy. Whatever I need to do, I can do at the end of the day. I don't need to be plugged in or whatever. But I think it's hard for us as humans right now to totally detach, because I feel like it would turn right back into that where it's like, okay, we have within these communities small little markets. Oh, look at these trinkets that we have. Would you want one? And now we're back into that materialistic way, and then it's just, I don't know. That's what I feel, but you guys could probably see. Clark, you were shaking your head a little bit. What do you think?
Oh, well, I mean, oh, gosh, there's a lot of things I could say about that, but the last thing, out of everything you were saying, the last thing I could think about was navigation. Can you imagine having to navigate right now with, because everybody's dependent on Apple Maps or Google Maps.
I can
Uh,
I
like,
can find an atlas. I can pick up an atlas and I can navigate.
I mean, you can do that once you have military experience. Some of us here, all of us here, I'm pretty sure Seth obviously has cartography. He's dabbled in it, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I got
um,
I got an award at camp.
see, all of us here are not really scared of actually pulling on a map and actually finding our directions and
Mm.
stuff like that. So, but I think there's a huge gap in the generations now of like being able to actually even get. I mean, where would could they find their own Starbucks? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Well, we grew up with MapQuest. I remember MapQuesting things, like going on to that, and it gave you a printout of the route that you needed to, and then like,
you're holding sheets and you have a navigator. Your navigator is your passenger seat guy.
yeah,
He was like sitting, you turn right on this exit.
yep, yep.
But I mean, you gotta remember, like, gosh, you go pre 1994 and you don't have any of that. So
No, it really was just like it was road maps. You had because my dad still used one for the longest time. I think it wasn't until like 2010, 2012, somewhere in that time that my brothers actually bought him like a Garmin for the your car, but he had just an atlas of the United States. It was like a phone book thick, and he before any trip he would take it out. He would sit on the hood of the car and he would just write down exactly where he needed to go, and he could do it. And we
That's
all made
crazy.
fun of him for it, but it's like that's something that's
that's
a
an essential skill now.
yeah, exactly. So, yep.
The my grandfather was like that. He kept records like on a pen and pad all the time, and whenever like the stories I've heard from my mom, just always like I even remember popping out the map or going to the gas station and picking up one for that area.
Yep.
And like the only one time I made a trek pre smartphone, and I had to use like a real map. And that was, and once I got the smartphone, I was like, oh, fuck this. This is like way easier.